Hello again from My Front Porch. Can you believe we are at the end of season 9 of the show? Yeah, blows my mind too. We're about to go into our 10th season. Now, if you recall, season 9 began with a little road trip my sisters and I took up to Clear Lake, Iowa to go see Mickey Dolenz and Coco Dolenz and the band in concert at the Surf Ballroom. Now, while Mickey Dolenz performing was the reason for the trip, the focus of the episode was family. So it makes sense to round out season 9 with another episode that connects to the Monkees and focuses on family. Only this time, it's not my family we're focusing on. Here, I want to introduce you to a couple of individuals who I've seen perform live in concert stuff. And I've had opportunity to listen to them in recordings. I was just showing them the playlist I have of albums that they have produced together. But we have Christian Nesmith and Circe Link.
Hi guys.
Now, you may be thinking that name sounds familiar. There is that guy. There is your dad, he's famous for some music group he was in and some stuff. And he also got the first ever Grammy for music videos.
He did.
Really cool fellow who blazed the trail for what we became known as MTV, and people take for granted now the weird, quirky video-based stuff. He was the trailblazer of that.
He certainly was.
His name was Mike Nesmith, for those who may not make the connection. Now, where I've seen you two perform was in the tours, the Mike and Mickey show when they were doing the tours, and I saw you guys performing there. And Christian, you did some phenomenal work with guitar stuff.
Thank you.
When I mean, you had like, I don't know how many guitars up there that you were switching between.
About 1 million.
Yeah.
Couple of thousand, yeah.
Yeah, and you. I mean, granted, I don't play guitar, so I'm easily impressed, perhaps. but it seemed like, from song to song, you would just get rid of this one, grab this one, and just right into it.
There's you put on your acoustic guitar, Christian. Let's run you through Papa Gene's Blues, so you can get that figured out.
I wrote Papa Gene's Blues for my wife at the time, Phyllis. God rest her soul.
Did you guys meet here in San Antonio at college, I think?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Blessed ground. Poor beautiful.
Papa Gene's Blues.
I'm sure you did a lot of prep beforehand that we didn't see.
Well, there were definitely extensive rehearsals for all those tours. And since Wayne Avers, who was the primary guitar player for the Monkees for years and years and years, had all the meat and potatoes guitar parts, I was doing primarily decorative stuff or fill in the gap stuff. So each one of those had sort of a different flavor, so I would need a different type of guitar or different tuning or a different, so.
Well, but now you had, because your dad, and there's that band from the 60s, but he also had his band, the First National Band.
The band was called the Monkees, by the way.
But the First National Band, and you, as you stepped in to do playing, you played with them as well.
Well, the First National Band was pretty much Michael Nesmith solo, working with John Ware and John London and the legendary Red Rhodes. And he did 3 records for RCA. And for lack of a better thing to call it, he called it the First National Band. Yeah. Now, that only lasted for 3 records. And that was the first few years of the 1970s.
Yeah.
So what you're referring to,
the reunion stuff, or
right? Well, he called it the Redux.
Oh, Redux. Oh, that's probably better term.
And we, it was actually a bunch of us who were talking him into doing it. Me being one of the most primary, because I had a gaggle of musicians that I play with, that we play with, that were just right to do to bring that stuff back to life. And he was less than sure when we were first talking about it. And no, we really had to sort of, no, you don't understand. If we take this stuff out, it'll kill. And it did. We did really good. Christopher Alice and on drums, and Jason Chesney, both of which have played with Circe and I for
over 20 years.
Yeah, and so it was wonderful to work with musicians that we were familiar with and bring sort of new breath into that band. And then of course my brother Jonathan was up there. Circe was singing backgrounds along with a wonderful singer named Amy Spear, and it just turned into a great band. So,
well, and along that line, I want to use that as a bit of a transition into you seem to have this really great ear and mind for reimagining songs. And what I'm really thinking of is Mickey Dolenz did an album of Michael Nesmith songs. And some of them were Monkees songs, some of them were First National Band songs, but they were pretty well known if you were fans of either group. However, those songs as they appeared on that album sounded very different.
Well, yeah, I mean, when Mickey and I were talking about making that record, which is Dolenz Sings Nesmith, we were very clear that we didn't want this to be a karaoke record. We wanted it to be a new take on things, which was very interesting because I've been living with these songs my entire life, literally from toddler age. And so to come at them differently was a great exercise. But I didn't do it alone. As a matter of fact, the nature of Circle Sky and how it became to sort of be sort of an Eastern Indian-ish approach was Circe's idea. Because I was coming at it from all different ways and I couldn't figure it out, and we knew that it had to go on the record. But Circe, why don't you make it sort of Indian, like bing, and then it
works.
It worked great.
It worked great. That whole, to me, that whole album is incredible, especially the songs that I really knew really well because they're so fresh, because they're so different. They're done in a whole unique way. The Grand Ennui song. That it almost has a rockabilly feel to it.
Well, the thing about Grand Ennui is that it has been reimagined so many times by Nez himself, who took it out 3 different times on the road before I ever had anything to do with it, and each one of those had a different approach.
Mentioned Circe. Let's bring you into this, Circe, because
she's mentionable.
Yeah. Well, and on the same tour where the same tours, I should say, where I saw Christian doing his expertise with the guitar, Circe was doing incredible backup singing, and I mean there were times where I mean there was just like if I didn't see you up there singing, I would have thought that it was some kind of programmed angelic sounding voice thing, because you just have this tone, this resonance to your voice that it just floats up here. It's so beautiful. You really have to listen to it.
I do. Yeah. I cut.
Is that the actual technical terms? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know that it's the term, but I have a very malleable instrument, so I can make it do a lot of different things. I can make it sound brassy and cut across the top. I can make it blend. I can make it feathery. And having Christian be my partner for so many years, when I first started doing music, I was just a neophyte. I didn't know anything, and so having this incredibly experienced person just turned me on to the different ways that I could use my voice like an instrument. Like, do a brass thing. Okay, now do a soft thing. I really was able to learn how to be flexible with it in performance. So, and he did. A lot of people don't know that on those tours that we were involved with, Christian did all the vocal arrangements.
Really?
Yeah.
So he and I would record those arrangements at home and part them out, and then he would send them to the different vocalists, and then we would practice those separately. Very often before the shows, we would be backstage just doing vocal warm-ups, because as anybody who's a part singer knows, it's really easy to forget your part, so continuing to practice your part is really important, like if you sing in a choir or any other kind of band. So just getting to sing in an ensemble with really wonderful arrangements is super fun. And again, that goes back to what it's like to be an instrument. You take your ego out of it and you just sing the part, and you listen for that blend, and you listen for where somebody else is breathing. I can't recommend any more really singing with other people. Again, a choir, a band, any place where people can get involved with music and sing. It's just a holistic experience that's really lovely to be in.
And we were very lucky on those tours, because at any given moment we had 5, 6, 7 singers on stage. If you count Nez and Mickey plus the whole band, so we could really create a wall of vocals, which is something that I really enjoy doing.
The song "Door into Summer."
Yep.
And he thought he heard the echoes of a penny whistle band and the laughter from a distant caravan and the brightly painted lines of circus wagons in the sand fading through the door into summer. Fading through the door into
That's one that just, I mean, and there was a live album made of that tour, and that song is on the album.
Right, Christian mixed that as well.
Well,
so
see, that's why
you'll hear his fingerprints on it.
Oh, yeah.
You'll hear his fingerprints.
Yeah, well, and you mixed the Dolan Sings Nesmith album, and
I produced and as well as tracked it, and
So aside from Mickey singing lead vocals, that's pretty much Christian's album.
Well, I don't want to say that, but Mickey might very well support that notion. He was very supportive of. That's not the word. Amenable to coming in and just being the singer. He wanted to do that, and so I had carte blanche with much of the arrangements. And I'm playing probably 70% of the instruments on those records.
And same on the REM record. I don't know if you've listened
to
that.
Yes, I love that one. It's on my playlist too on my phone.
And there's something really cool as a singer. You have your lead singer thing that you do as a performer, but when you're in the studio, it's so great to have somebody driving. It's so nice to have somebody taking charge. And I think a lot of singers have trouble letting go of their ego, but when you do, and you just let somebody tell you what to do, or come up with a part and say, check it out, try this, try that, the whole gestalt comes together, and it's just a wonderful experience. And I think Mickey likes that as well.
But you have been at the helm of now, obviously you have multiple albums between the two of you. You've got these albums that we've talked about there. I'm going to guess that you've maybe produced some other albums even for others.
I have nothing that's on the very on forefront of the radar. But I've got hundreds of songs that I've recorded, and that lends to a kit bag that is very call uponable. I have no vocabulary today.
It's Sunday morning, you guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Sunday. We're sleepy.
But where it usually shows up is in our own work. We're on our 13th or 14th or something like 14th original record.
Yeah. Wow.
We've been doing it. Oh, you didn't know that?
No, because I have a short playlist. I'm way behind apparently.
Well,
there's plenty to get caught up on.
Well, Circe and I met in 22 and almost immediately began a...
2002.
That's what I meant. 2002, and almost immediately began a parallel romance / musical partnership.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And in that time, we were making an album a year and a half.
Wow. That's prolific.
Yeah. And it mostly comes down to her because of the way that she was writing songs at the time, which is a very interesting story.
So, let's hear the story.
Oh, the story.
I mean, with a cue up like that. Come
I know,
on.
right? How can you resist? I started writing songs because I started hearing them in my sleep. Started just dreaming songs.
After never being a musician.
Oh.
And you know my whole thing with dreams.
Yeah, well,
right?
and we'll get to that. I
Right.
want to talk about that.
Always been interested in dreams and always been able to do lucid dreaming. And I was hanging out with a number of musicians at the time, and I was in a improvisational band that was like 14 pieces of world music or international music, and I just started coming up with songs in my mind, and so I wrote my first song, 3 Bells, one day, woke up with it, and then later that day wrote another, and then later that day wrote another. I just started hearing them. It was like
having never had written a song in their entire life. Now, if you were familiar with Circe's work, you would know that those songs have been staples in our performing repertoire for a couple of decades.
Wow.
The point being is that they were quality songs out of the gate.
Yeah.
Having never written a song before, and then 3 in one day, and all of them carried water.
That's impressive.
That's what was so amazing. So when I heard them, I was like, this is the real deal. She's the real deal. And from then on, we just sort of hooked up, not in the euphemistic way, and in the euphemistic way, and have been together ever since. And we've got, as I said, 11 or 12 original albums, plus a EP, plus a cover album, plus my 2 solo albums. So we've been, and not to mention doing 9 years of touring in the midst of that. So yeah, there's a lot of material out there to be had and listened to.
Under the sycamore tree, I always loved to spend the day, and on the sweetest breeze I could hear the people laugh and play. smiling, said to me, we should keep it safe for the greater good. We'd build a wall and charge a fee. He said he'd do it all, so I happily under the sycamore tree. I used to love to spend the day, but now it isn't free. And I have lost my purse and cannot pay. And when I looked over that great big wall, the man was gone and there was no one there at all. Under the sycamore tree, under the sycamore tree, under the sycamore tree. Danny the drinker goes on a stinker 5 nights a week or more. He's not a loser. His higher powers taking a shower most every day round 4. He's just a loser. After a meeting, he goes a greeting, a step that can't be ignored. 2, 3, 4. His anonymity finds an affinity for friends who are better poured. He says, hey Harvey Wallbanger, hi pink squirrel, good evening Mr. Patron. Hello Miss Margarita, yes it's always nice to see you, but I'm taking Bloody Mary home. I need the hair of the dog, hair of the dog, hair of the dog that bit me. This puppy's pretty pickled and my lily liver's tickled by the hair of the dog that bit me. Screwdriver Sally, she lives in the valley, but she ain't the girl next door. She's working in Chatsworth, a euphemistic soda jerk, and some of you know the score. No, not a teaser. When she gets finished with her funny business, she heads to the local pub. Let's drink up. Everyone knows her bangers and blowers. She'll put a bug in your rug. She says, hey Harvey Wallbanger, hi pink squirrel, down the hatch, bottoms up. I think I'll get a Greyhound to my kamikaze uptown with the B-52 full of. I need the hair of the dog, hair of the dog, hair of the dog that bit me. This puppy takes a pounding when I'm lost. I can be found under the hair of the dog. I'll have the hair of the dog. Somebody call a dog kennel. Three more make mine a hair of the dog. Woof. Strange, it was everything you had. Change isn't ever what you plan. Light into the darkest places will one day shine. To climb the tower, you must purify in golden fire. To climb the tower, you must carry on with wide open eyes. It was every day you lived. Change, ever waiting like a gift. Find a tender cataclysm in every smile. I climbed the tower, how could I have known it would go so high? With every
if somebody wanted to look up that material, where would they go to
Really,
get
the
this
best
material?
place to go would be to Spotify or iTunes. There's a ton
Although
of stuff.
iTunes apparently has a limited library.
Yeah.
I found out.
Yeah. YouTube, we have a ton of stuff up on YouTube, lots of videos. I mean, they can just go to my website, circelink.com, and check it out. Lots of stuff. I mean, the videos online are probably fun gateways because there's a lot of covers.
Yeah, we have over 100 videos on her YouTube channel. Many of them are covers, but that was only because we were involved in this very fun thing called theme music, which was a challenge to do videos. But it led us into doing videos for ourselves, and so you'll see lots of live representations of I mean, if you dig through every single performance, you'll probably find every song we've ever done in there in one representation.
Yeah, there's a lot to see. We were doing monthly shows live in our living room for years. Mickey was on as a guest. You can go find that on the channel as well.
Well, and every once in a while I'll see those will show up on Facebook. You'll share those videos that just seem like to me they look like just casual bunch of friends getting together and singing some stuff together.
It kind of was.
It was, except for the fact that we, did a nice miking on everything and
a couple different cameras
and camera angles. Yeah, we wanted to make it a little more fun than just just pointing a camera at somebody and using the camera mic. We wanted to make it sound good, and it was also an incredible connection with the fans too, because as we played, we were able to chat with them, and so. Yeah, if you want to get a big bite of Circe and Christian music, it's on YouTube or circelink.com. We've got.
But the newer stuff, to go back to the songwriting, we've kind of switched positions. So I would dream up songs and come up with melodies and lyrics.
Album after album after
and
album
then,
after
and
album.
then Christian would come along and do the music part and add all that, because I don't really play instruments. I mean, I can play guitar a little bit. But he would come along, and that would be the way that we would start to work on stuff and illustrate a song. And now that we're doing progressive rock with the last two albums, and we're working on the third one right now, it's kind of switched. Christian will go into the studio, and he'll do his wizardry in there, and then I'll bring myself to that. So I might hear it in the other room and wonder, what does that sound like? And then I'll come up with a theme, and I might run in there and say, this one's called whatever.
Working title.
And I'll come up with some melodic ideas. I'll scribble down some lyrics. He'll come up with melodic ideas, and then we'll just kind of almost, do that version of building with it. We just go on top and more and more and more until we start to.
Well, because the music is so complex, it's more, you could think of it as orchestral, which I love Circe's quote about it, is that prog music is orchestral music played with rock and roll instruments. And I think that's very accurate, because you're dealing with, there's no rules basically. You can change time signature or tempo, key. You can just about face in the middle of something. You can hard butt two completely different ideas against each other, and it works if you can get that, what I call drama, to work right.
Well, the songs now I think are very cinematic, so drama is a good word for that. And also lyrically,
interesting.
I think progressive rock allows me to have more room to branch out into topics that a standard song, I think I often would feel limited, and who wants to write another love song? I do not. So being like the first record, Cosmologica, was about the cosmos.
First prog record
was about the cosmos and the understanding of interiority as a metaphor for where we were at the time during the COVID lockdown.
And that's some serious stuff.
So that's what we did during the lockdown. We made that record. And then the second progressive rock record, is called Arcana, and that was all about tarot cards and the themes of a retelling of each one. Because there's other prog bands that have done tarot card themed records before, but I wanted to kind of retell them in different ways. So being able to reach into those themes, I felt this new writing style allowed me to expand a little bit more.
And the earlier stuff, so it could be said that it was more genreified, the first 3 or 4.
Yeah, I
Circe
called it
records.
cowboy jazz.
Cowboy jazz. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's got a country twang to it, it's got
Uh-huh.
a jazz twang
Yeah.
to it. It's more sophisticated than just 3-chord country,
Uh-huh.
but it's got a very raw sound. However, that was me. I wouldn't say the word pandering, but adapting to that style.
Uh-huh.
Whereas the prog stuff seems to be more of a free flow of consciousness, where I can experiment with nearly any kind of genre,
Any sound, any technique, any instrument.
any instrument. And it's interesting, on this new record, we were actually able to pilfer a couple of old songs and interweave them into new ideas and surround them with more progressive ideas. So that's the beauty of this new music, is that I feel like we're being more genuine and honest about our creativity and what we're trying to say musically.
Well, just what I'm hearing is, first of all, the two of you have had now for over 2 decades a really tight, really wonderful collaborative relationship where each of you are bringing strengths and they are complementing each other. And as you're going back and forth about, well, she came up with this and you came up with it, what I'm hearing and what I'm sensing is there's no competitiveness, there's no competition.
None at all.
There's this mutual appreciation of, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, I like
Yeah,
that.
we're
Oh,
very
that's
lucky that we have that relationship.
but then that helps fire what you're producing.
But not only that, there's the other side of that, and that I feel like it's almost more important in a collaborative situation musically. You've got to trust the other person to say, man, that's not working.
Yeah.
Or you can beat it.
You can do better
beat
than that.
Uh-huh.
You can do
Oh,
better than that, and
to challenge you.
Yeah. So to hear that from somebody that you love and trust and admire and go and not get, oh man, I'm wounded. Go, oh, okay, all right, I will.
You're right, I can't.
Or you say, no, I need that word and here's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then you learn where that push and pull is. And again, these newer records allow so much of that. But you're right, the collaboration between she and I musically has always been in that area. But because our romance started simultaneously, we learned how to trust each other on a level that only fed the creative process. There was sort of, when you get into a new relationship, you kind of establish new ground rules. And those have fed the foundation of our relationship in all ways for the entire 23 years we've been together. So
that's awesome.
We're lucky for that.
And I will say, and I might just slip it in here. I have a little video clip from I think the sound check of the Mike and Mickey show in San Antonio, I think maybe. But little piece that when I was shooting the video sitting there at the sound check, at the time didn't have any clue. This to it 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever that was. Had no clue we'd be sitting here talking about this topic now. But as we're talking about this, I'm remembering I have this where when I was filming, I was zooming in not on Mike and Mickey singing, but on your end of the stage over there, because I was inspired by the interaction between the two of you while you were performing. And the song was The Kind of Girl I Could Love, and so Mike is singing and you're playing along, but as it got to the end of the song, you turn and you're looking at her, or at least that's the way it looked to us, and she's looking back at you. Whether there's any significance to the lyrics of the song, I don't know.
Well, that's happened more than once.
But
Just
might have been that, but you also might not be able, should not read anything into it because, you know, at the end of songs, you look around at the rest of the band and make sure that you all come down together, you know.
There is that too. Although I like my
But you can stick to your story.
It's a really good story. And really it was a really genuine moment from the audience perspective. It was. But anyway, so with this collaboration that you have going on and with all that you're producing together, what is the next thing? What are you working on now?
Well, as I said, we're in the middle of the third progressive rock. I'm almost tempted to say that it's just us. It might be progressive rock, and I think that there's certain ethos of that genre name that we might be aspiring to, but it's really just kind of a stream of consciousness. It's more things that I've always wanted to do, regardless of genre. And so we're actually quite far along on the third progressive rock record, and you know we're again got 10 and 12 minute songs, and you know just these gigantic epics, and they're coming out great. We've actually in the last few days been doing a lot of vocal work, and it's not until you get those sort of final vocals on there that you go, wow, okay, this is really a song.
Also, then when we're done with that, we'll go to the next stage where with the last record, we went into the studio and added live drums. The first one didn't have live drums, and so the second one we did kind of spring for that, and you know, it's expensive to track drums, but it's so worth it. Christopher Alice is on that.
Again.
He's our drummer throughout everything. And he's not really well known for being able to hit that type of music. A lot of people don't know him for his versatility. I mean, they know that he's versatile, but not all the way into prog.
Yeah, I mean, people call him because he's got such a great groove and such a great touch. One of the things I've always said about Christopher is that he plays quiet, but he sounds loud.
Yeah, and he's really versatile. His personal experience with music, he and Jason, our bass player, are two of the most musically eclectic people I've ever known.
And encyclopedic.
I mean, truly. They can just pull out music.
Well, then they would align well, because you know it sounds to me like you really defy labels. That you
well, not as a going concern, but
well, I mean, musically, you're not looking to fit into a genre. You're not looking to have
I'm
a style.
certainly not looking to fit in, but I'm not looking to. I don't want to go there
I like
either.
what you just said a little bit ago, though, where you said it's just us.
Yeah.
So it's like you are your own genre.
Yeah, which is something you'll find with nearly every artist who's worth their salt. It's like, so what kind of music do you play? I don't know, it's just us.
Well, that's actually how I came up with cowboy jazz, because people would say, "Oh, what do you do? What do you sound like?" You know, and you have to say something. You can't just say, "Oh, well, you just got to listen," or "Well, we're really different." I mean, that may be true, but you have to have something to say.
You have to give them some kind of description.
Yeah.
But there's a million people who just play straight rock and roll, but the fact that they are each individuals makes their each one of their iteration of that rock and roll individual and unique. So, I mean, I am against genreification as a going concern. I don't think that it's helpful to anybody but people counting money. But I do understand the need for classification. But at the end of the day, we're willing to stick our toe in any water.
Well, not personally, I'm not a big fan of pigeonholing in any context. I don't like people being assigned a label. You are who you are. And you just do what you do, and that's you. It's an individual thing. So I do want to ask you, how many instruments do you play?
Well, I play the big four, guitar, bass, keys, and drums. I have a few different instruments that are guitar-like, and so they're easily playable, but don't sound like guitar. But those are the guys, and because I play keyboards was actually my very first instrument. I played piano.
I thought drums was first for you.
No, piano at 5 years old, and because I have that, all the incredible sounds that are available in today's
so you can add some other
virtual instrument world.
Like when he teaches, actually, that's one of the things he does with students, which he does. If y'all want a guitar lesson. Well, wait, I have to interject. He thinks about it in yes, that's right. He thinks about it in terms of musical theory on the keyboard, which makes it a lot easier to learn.
Yeah.
If you just pick up a guitar and try and start.
Guitar is a confusing instrument. It's not that easy or
intuitive?
Intuitive is the word. I told you my vocabulary is just failing me today. It's not that intuitive of an instrument, but if you can see how music is laid out sort of graphically, which a keyboard or a piano does,
it really helps to think about it.
It really
that
helps
way.
how open your mind up. So if you want music lessons,
I was going to say, with this good transition, how do they sign up? How do they get a hold of you for the music lessons? First of all, you probably have to be in the LA area.
No, we do it online.
Oh, you do it online?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, well, what do you know?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I've been giving Zoom lessons ever since the
pandemic.
Lockdown.
A lot. Can I have my face back, please?
Did I say it was early?
Ever since the COVID, and so it's been actually working out rather well. There's a few things that you can't do on through a camera screen. Sometimes you need to help your student and their posture, the way they hold the instrument. But for the most part, it works rather well. And I think that just send up a flare via either one of our websites.
You could do that, or Facebook. We're both on Facebook.
Yeah.
So just reach out.
Yeah. We're not that hard to find.
And so you'll teach any of those instruments?
Drums is not very doable online, particularly because I don't have a drum set.
Oh well, yeah.
And it would be my least proficient instrument. But yeah, I could definitely help out with that.
So a skilled
But
performer.
if you want to learn how to play rock guitar, we're definitely in.
Yeah.
Oh, you could go to his TikTok and look at all of his guitar clips. He's got tons of them up on TikTok.
Yeah.
Great guitar solos.
Wow.
Really fun.
No, we didn't even mention TikTok.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey everybody, well, I'm officially a TikToker, and I've been thinking a while about what I wanted to put on here, and so what I'm going to try to do is 365 cool solos or riffs in 365 days. Just want to let you know that in my guitar videos, what you see is what you hear. All the performances are being recorded both audio and video, and that's what you get in the finished result. Yes, I bring them into a mixer and I fix up the sound a little bit, but they are being played live. And because of that, you may hear an occasional flub or mistake or something that isn't quite perfect. But the point of the exercise is to get all these great riffs out. But I just want to let you know that I'm not miming or lip syncing or whatever it is. That's the real deal. What you see is what you hear. Have been called into question. This person has implied that because my guitar sounds are so good, I must not be playing. Well, where do you think good guitar sounds come from? They come from good guitar players and recording engineers like me, been doing it a long time, pretty good at it.
So, speaking of online things, I'd like to transition to Circe has some online stuff she does too.
That's true. I've been doing hypnosis online. I'm doing a class, a group this Friday. I'm trying to do at least once a month something free so people can understand what hypnosis is, mostly for, transitioning in one's life from a state where you don't want to be into something that you do want to be. So from stress to de-stress, from sad to happy, from feeling stuck to unstuck. So helping people do that. As during the lockdown as well, I got interested in helping people do that. My mom was a therapist my whole life. And I thought, I really want to help people, but I can't go outside. How can I do this? So I got some certifications, and I've been doing it online. It's been really fun.
Now, you might think, how can hypnosis work online? I don't see how that's even possible. Does it even work? Well, I can tell you it does, because what was that old shaving commercial or something? Or the bald thing commercial? No offense,
I
because
don't
we're both in
know.
But the thing about I'm not just the president, I'm a customer or something.
Size Sterling.
but so
I'm not only the president, I'm a client.
that's it, yeah, something like that. But Circe, actually, I have done some of the hypnosis sessions with her online.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In fact, this is the first time we've met in person.
Yeah.
Even though we've interacted many times, but online.
Yeah.
And it's been very helpful. It's been very and not in a therapeutic kind of way.
Yeah.
Is how I would best describe it.
That's the idea.
Because it's no matter what the end result is, the feeling is just better after all of that.
Wellness is the word I like.
That's a good
Yeah,
word.
I like that
I
word
like
too.
that. See, it came back.
I've also been doing dreams as well online.
Yes.
So if you're on Facebook and you want to join the dream group,
Dream
that's
interpretation, dream understanding.
about once a month, helping people come up with their own symbology and learn how to do that kind of introspection that they can then apply some of those tools for themselves. And it doesn't have to be somebody else, an external authority, telling somebody how to get better or how to change their life. They can start to have some of those awarenesses on their own. And it's been really rewarding, really fun.
Well, I forgot to tell you about my dream last night.
Did you have a crazy dream?
Nuts.
Oh, I can't wait.
It is interesting though. This dream group. There are several people. You have some regulars that are there all
I
the
have
time,
about
and then there's other
12
people that are in
regulars,
and out
yeah.
kind of stuff.
It's international. People
yeah.
from all over the
And
world tune in. It's
and
pretty
they get
cool.
together. Usually, I think aren't you doing it mostly through Facebook Messenger?
No, I do it on
chatting, or
Zoom.
Zoom, okay.
But the Facebook group
That's
is
right.
online.
There's a
but
Facebook
if
Messenger group. We send a
yeah.
link out.
Yeah,
So
but
that-
if someone wants to email me personally, I'm happy to give them an
But they get together and they share. This is what, and then amongst the group they sort of talk some stuff out. There are some individuals that have high level of expertise, some individuals who are more amateur, but still, it's a good collaborative group for
It's
discussing those things. Yeah.
Well, what I know from just watching objectively is that Circe has been helping people in all sorts of ways. Some things, anything from addiction to phobia to various worries and what have yous, and everybody's coming away just so happy and grateful. So it's if you're dealing with something and you think hypnosis is the right way to go, you might want to
Call me.
this phone moi. Thank you, Billy Crystal.
And see, I didn't think we'd get a live performance. There it was.
There you
we
did.
go.
Little nano performance out of me.
So,
today.
this is horrible to put you on the spot on camera, but you've probably been asked this a million times before. Of the work that you have done musically, what stands out to you as your favorite stuff?
Well, it's always going to be the thing we're working on at the
The
time.
newest thing.
Otherwise, we
Yeah,
wouldn't keep working.
it's the joke that keeps on giving. Every single artist that you ever talk to, what's the best? It's the best thing I've ever done, man.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that there aren't things in our past that I'm not extremely proud of. The album Bird's Amazing Odyssey and the Meaning of Tea, which is 4 or 5 albums ago now, I think really stands out. I'm really, really proud of that work. And then lots of magic moments in the last 3, because there's one coming up, but the last 2 records and the newest one. But you're always trying to do your best. You're always putting your best foot forward, and so if you're in some sort of quagmire, if you find yourself repeating yourself, then you're just redundant, and then you repeat yourself, and then you say things over and over.
That mean the same thing.
Yeah.
That's a redundant joke.
Yes.
And so that redundancy does not help the creative process, and so that new and fresh area that you're trotting in is always exciting, and because it's exciting, it feels like you're doing great work. And now the thing is, you may be just bumping into walls and not know it, but if you're honest about it, genuine about it, then it really doesn't matter, because you're always putting your best stuff forward.
Yeah.
Well said.
On some levels, I have a bit of sympathy, or a bit I feel a little bad for a performer like Mickey, who is an incredible performer, has one of the most distinctive rock and roll voices ever. But when he performs, there's some songs that he has to do. People that want to go see Mickey Dolenz, they want to hear him sing these handful of songs.
Yep.
And so now for 60 years, he's been singing these same songs. Now, I'm sure he enjoys the fan reaction. I'm sure he would say he fuels from that. But as an artist, there is this constant craving to always want to do that new thing, to always want to. And I suspect that's where the REM album even came out of for him.
Well, I mean, that wasn't my idea. Well, it wasn't even his idea. It was 7A Records' idea.
Oh.
Glenn at 7A, but it was interesting, and it was off the beaten path. So it was, okay, let's try that. But I wouldn't lament Mickey's plight too much.
Yeah.
I think
he enjoys every moment he's on the stage.
I'm sure he does.
He's a consummate performer, and I just don't think it ever gets old.
And his newer shows, he works in, non-Monkee stuff. He works in other songs and does other things.
He's a music fan.
So
well, he always has.
And I'm not trying to diss on Mickey. What I'm saying is what you're talking about with always the new stuff. As an artist, okay, there's stuff that you've done that's good, and you do it repeatedly. You do it, but there's that constant drive to always.
Yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that Pleasant Valley Sunday is a great song.
Oh, it is.
You know what I mean?
I think Neil Peart had a really great. You can tell that.
No.
Well, there's for you Rush fans out there. 2112 or no, Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer. People would ask him, "Oh, do you ever get tired of playing that?" And he would say, "Absolutely not," because it's an amazing song.
So hard to play.
It's so hard to play.
Yeah. So every night is a challenge to just make the groove happen. And so when you hand somebody, you have to step up and you have to sing Pleasant Valley Sunday or I'm a Believer, and you have to grip it and rip it. You know, it can never be phoned in.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about, if you want to say something particularly about Mickey, is he never phones it in.
Oh.
He's always on.
You're trying to make your mark in society. You're using all the tricks that they use on you. You're reading all them high-fashion magazines. Clothes you're wearing, girl, are causing public scenes. They say, I'm not a stepping stone. You're not me, girl. Oh, it's so good, everybody getting high. You better take it easy, 'cause the pressure don't stop. All day and I don't know what to do. Wait a minute, baby, what happened to you? And I'm
I also know that Mickey is firmly involved in all kinds of fun stuff that he likes doing.
Carpentry.
Carpentry and carpentry, campentring. Their campentring is a new word, and I'm doing it. Carpentry and camping, and so when he does hit that stage, he's able to come up and hit it in a new kind of fresh, if you will.
That's right.
Well, and again, I'm sure that he and other performers that do a lot of repeated songs, that you get that feel from the audience, from the fans who are the energy from them.
Yep.
But as you, how much do you all go out and perform live at this point?
Not much lately, only because these songs are very complicated and it would take a large band to do it.
Because you can't be playing all the instruments at the same time.
Certainly. Well, but I've said if I had 3 more of me and a good drummer and singer, I'm in. You know, I could go and play anything I want. But having said that, I think that we have enough of a catalog now that I think it might be worth rounding up a few people. I mean, maybe spending a few bucks to see if we can get that band up and running. And if we can, you know, I know that there's opportunities in Europe for festivals and what have you. Yeah.
We'll see. That might be next for us.
So
We're definitely
keep a watch
thinking
out.
about it.
And we might do the online performances again. There are certainly more opportunities now than there were when we were doing them 5-6 years ago. So the technology is easier, and so.
And the albums that you're producing now, you're not, because of the length of the songs, so you're not producing like on a physical CD or anything like that, are you still? You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the advantages to having a fan base that has one foot in the Monkees camp, is that there's old school, and many of our listeners like an actual physical.
Even among the prog community of modern
Prog
fans,
too, yeah.
they're collectors. Their music is so important to them. They want to see it on the shelf. They want to catalog it. They want to have that tactile.
That physical.
It's in my hand. It's a thing because that music means so much to them.
And the
great.
prog community is the type of music listener that actually sits down, puts on a record, and wants to sit there and listen to it. It's not background noise, and they're willing to put in the 20 or 30 minute commitment to a side of music.
Yeah. It's an experience for them. It's not just listening to something.
And that's how I grew up. I mean, the design of a record side, the journey of those 4, 5, 6 songs of one side of a record.
That's curation.
The curation of it, it is an art form in and of itself.
Wasn't it? The 3 albums that your dad did in the early '70s, the Magnetic South, Loose Salute, and Nevada Fighter.
All right.
There was a radio ad that I remember hearing where they were promoting those, and they said that your dad was describing it as a trilogy of the Old West, and that the tip-off, as I recall, was the B-side of all 3 albums. But what was interesting was clearly his intent was to not listen to those albums as songs on an album. His intent was you sit and listen at least to the B-side of these things apparently, and listen to it all the way through, and you'll pick up the story.
Well, it's not mutually exclusive. You can listen to individual songs and enjoy them as that. On the first RCA record, there's the triptych of God.
Little Red Rider.
Yeah, but that's the last one. Anyway, they know what I'm talking about. And how they all flow into each other. And that was by design. And it can never be understated how important Red Rhodes, the pedal steel guitar player, was to that, because his decoration and his, sonic fireworks. I don't even know how to describe him. He was a madman, but he put a stamp on it, and the two of them, between Nez's writing and singing and Red's playing, made those certainly unique pieces of art.
Well, I do find it interesting that you're talking about doing cowboy jazz, whereas your dad was known for being, in addition to the stuff we talked about before about video pioneering, that he really helped
talk about genres.
Country
rock.
He helped putting country rock on the map.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
That's. There you can have a million years of argument about that. Graham Parsons, the Eagles, Jackson Brown, Michael Nesmith. It doesn't. It really has no weight at the end of the day. Do you dig the tunes? Do you dig the artist? Then great, that's fine. What is it, Burrito Brothers and Poco?
It was all coalescing. They were all getting the idea because they were of a generation that had all the same influences, and they were all expanding into other types of things, which naturally led them all kind of to a similar place. I think that's, humans do that.
Except for the producers of the Monkees, didn't necessarily like the country feel of some of it early on.
The strange thing, when I got together with Christian, I didn't really know who the Monkees were.
And that's
so
probably
for
totally
me,
okay.
It wasn't, and it's still
better than okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're grateful for that experience in our life and that connection, but there's, I think, just history, so much amazing human history and evolution available to share musically that it just keeps going and expanding, and so that's a connection I think we're still eager to make.
I like that. That may be a good place for us to level off.
Ding.
To continually growing and expanding.
That's right.
That's because I mean, clearly that's the trajectory you two are on.
Hopefully.
I'm never going to stop making music, one way or the other.
It's good.
And it may just be for my own enjoyment. You know, just I'm sitting in my little studio, I'm creating something new, and that's just going to be the case. But hopefully I'll be able to create it in such a way that you guys will be able to, you know, have fun with it too. So count on that.
Well, I have yet to hear anything from either of them that they have produced, that they've been part of somebody else's project. I've yet to hear anything either of them have done that has not been spectacular. And so as long as you all are producing stuff, I know I'm still listening.
There you
And I'm
go.
sure there's a whole lot of other people who will be too.
Thank you.
But I do appreciate you both taking time out of
Very
your
welcome.
busy schedule here in
Absolutely.
Burbank to stop in and sit down and chat about this stuff. I think the work you all are doing is really incredible.
Thank you.
And understated. I mean, I must state it a little louder here for you all. But I think that you're producing stuff that a whole lot more people need to know about.
That's right.
I don't
Needs
think
to
our
be out
songs
there.
are understated. Maybe they're underrated. but
Underrated, maybe that's the better word. Yeah.
our songs-
Underappreciated, maybe.
Our songs are certainly not understated.
Yeah,
They are a bit loud and brash.
That's true. That is true. But they're enjoyable. They're very enjoyable. And the reason they're enjoyable is not just the musical quality. It's this other dynamic that you were talking about. I mean, every song that I listen to, you can hear the heart in them.
Thanks.
I mean, there is real meat to this song, no matter what it's about, no matter what the
Or tofu.
or tofu. Yes,
Vegetarian.
for the vegetarian. Sorry. There's real substance. Well,
Thanks.
there we go. Substance. There's real substance to it. And it doesn't matter what the musical style is or what the flow of the song is. Every one of them has that level of gravitas to it.
Yeah.
And so I think you guys are amazing.
Appreciate it.
So all right. Well, with that, I'll let you go. I'll let you all go, and I'll see you next time from My Front
Adios.
Porch.